These were all my notes for this play, and somewhere or other in the play I've drawn on them, not directly sometimes, many times, but occasionally. Spontaneity is the embryonic form of organisation. The executive of the modern state is but a committee for managing the common affairs of the whole bourgeoisie. Marx. In France, every class of the population is politically idealistic and considers itself, first of all, not as a particular class, but as the representative of the general needs of the society. The role of liberator can therefore pass successively in a dramatic movement to different classes in the population, until it finally reaches the class which achieves social freedom. That's Marx. Communism is the positive abolition of private property, of human self-alienation, and thus the real appropriation of human nature through and for man. It is therefore the return of man himself as a social, that is, really human being, a complete and conscious return which assimilates all the wealth of previous developments. Communism is the definitive resolution of the antagonism between man and nature, and between man and man. It is the true solution of the conflict between existence and essence, between objectification and self-affirmation, between freedom and necessity, between individual and species. It is the solution of the riddle of history and knows itself to be that solution. Karl Marx. Beautiful. And so on, endlessly. And actually not endlessly, because it ends with a poem by Brecht, which I very much wanted to get out, because it wasn't well known. What meanness would you not commit to stamp out meanness? If at last you could change the world, what would you think yourself too good for? Who are you? Sink into the mire. Embrace the butcher. But change the world. It needs it. Bertolt Brecht. Not only did we have a program which was wholly Marxist, we had a play whose subject was Marxism and revolution. And it was on the National Theatre stage at the Old Vic at the time. And every night, for 4 or 5 weeks, 900 people came to watch this piece. And they genuinely sat there and listened and watched and wondered. And at the end they applauded and stood as if it had been like one of their plays, the plays that they know. Over that period of time, however, some of the clientele of the National backed away, even though the great man himself was in it, leading it, made room for what the manager of the place said were people from the technical colleges and the polytechnics, the lesser people. But they wanted to see the play. They heard a lot about it. And while it was generally slammed by the critics, it was hugely admired by lots of other people in the society. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about a very different age from the one that we're now in. But we may be accidentally heralding in an age which is about to return. There may well be a good deal more Marxism around in plays and in books than at present, as a result of what's going on.
Yeah, well, that would certainly be my view. But I think that...
sorry, let me just proceed with that, because it's not just the theatre where these changes. You know, the really important change, I've never thought the theatre that important. The really important changes were in television. I mean, I wrote a series called Bill Brand, 11 hours of prime time television about a left-wing Labour MP, a Marxist. 1 year in the life of this man who gets in Stockport, who gets in a by-election. And we got 10 million people watching this every week, every Monday night at 9 o'clock. That's the society we were building and creating, and that's the society that both the Labour Party and the Conservative Party needed to rip up. That was the wrong deal. We got it wrong. You know, it was heavy, it was scruffy, it was occasionally very nasty, but my God, was it alive. It was really alive, you know. And universities were very, very different places from what they are today.